buy literally anything else. That comment referring to this PC case right here from a company called Geometric Future. Yeah. And the name of the model is the Arc. Ooh, and you get a glimpse of what it looks like here. Definitely an unorthodox PC case. And in this video, we're going to build in it, or at least attempt to. Look, as of time of filming, there are only 2 reviews of this case on Amazon. One of them's a 4-star with no feedback, and one of them's a 1-star, what you saw in the very beginning of this video. I'm curious which is actually more true, because, well, as an average right now, this has one of the lowest ratings of any PC case sold on Amazon today. That's a tough one to swallow, but I want to give the Arc the benefit of the doubt. Are you ready? Stay with me. If you're planning your next PC build, then consider checking out our sponsor, VIP SCD Key. Their Windows 10 and 11 OEM keys sell for a fraction of retail and will unlock the full potential of your OS. They'll also remove those pesky activation watermarks. Click the links below to get started today, and be sure to use our special offer code SKGS for a sweet discount on a variety of options, including Windows 10 and 11, Pro and Home, and more. Yeah, this is it. This is the Arc. And as you can see, you can very easily toss it up and down with 2 hands because, yes, my friends, it is quite cheap feeling. I just want to give you a quick close-up here. If you can show them, Raymond, the jelliness of that, is that a word, jelliness? Look how flexible that side panel is. Is this even a side panel? What even is this shape? That's what I want to know. It's like a cylinder. It almost reminds me of like the old school Mac Pros. I just cannot get over how much give there is in this. It's quite alarming. Not that you'd be doing this a lot when your build is assembled, hopefully, but it's still not a good impression. I managed to take one of these off with a couple of Phillips screws, one on each side, and you can see it just looks like a large open space in there. Your motherboard goes against this back tray, and you can mount fans on these rails. You got 2 of them, looks like good for 360 mils a piece. I'm not sure where our power supply is supposed to go though. This is one of the few cases I'm gonna need a manual for. Now I haven't shown Raymond this yet because I'm quite surprised by how we're supposed to mount this power supply.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's supposed to sit like that. Looks like it gets a bit easier if we go the SFX route, but then we've got these weird, just like funky brackets to support everything. I'm not entirely comfortable with this. And they've so graciously given us this entire baggie full of stuff. I'm not sure if we're gonna need all of it, but we're about to find out. Just tightening down our motherboard standoffs currently, and by the way, I know it seems like I'm being critical right out of the gate, and that's because I am. This is a $170-ish chassis, so I'm gonna be critical up front because of the price point. But part of me actually kind of likes this. This is like just so different than anything else I've ever built in before. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. So it's been like 30 minutes. We still have no idea what the heck we're gonna do with this because there's so many parts incompatibilities, like size-wise, to worry about, which is a unique challenge. Some of you might like that. It's kind of frustrating. And I'm also torn color scheme-wise because we got the white model, so I want to use like a white power supply because you'll actually be able to see that in this one. The problem is the only white power supply I have is a full-size power supply. It's not an SFX one. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've got the correct bracket adapted to this power supply. We ended up going the white Neo Eco route, but it's gonna sit like that there. You actually can mount an ATX power supply this way. There's just, I guess, multiple ways to do it. Yeah, this is fully bolted down apparently, and you can see just how much play we still have. Couple that with just like this. Not bestowing a lot of confidence. Let's get our platform assembled. We're gonna start with a Core i5 11600K and a Z590 ITX motherboard. Then adding 16 gigs of DDR4 from G.Skill. Now one thing we thought was pretty cool was the fact that you could actually remove this motherboard tray entirely. Again, you can fit up to M-ATX on here. We're going with ITX, so it's only really gonna span at least 4 standoffs here. But you can slide this tray up or down. Now this side of the case is the top side. side. So if it's standing upright, everything's gonna be pointing toward the ceiling over here. But you have to worry about clearances, especially for like USB ports and things. And so shifting this high up, while it might be nice for cable management, is going to pose a problem when it comes to connectivity. So I think we really have no choice here but to shift this all the way down, or at least as far as we reasonably can go. Cable management at this point is gonna be a nightmare, but it is what it is. This here is the platform we ended up with. It is, yes, very crammed. It's kind of the overall theme of this build, I guess. And here she goes, nice and gently here. Oh boy. So, yeah. Believe it or not, this is how it's supposed to sit in here. We're gonna need to clean this up. It is quite cluttered already as is. Now we've got this fan bracket with 3 120 mil ARGB fans attached, and it's gonna sit something like this here. Whoops. We're gonna have to tighten this down and then find a way to get these cables where they need to go, the included fan hub, etc., and then connect it to the motherboard. It's a bit of a mess right now. It's a little chaotic. We're just kind of going with the punches and hoping something sticks. Right now, it's probably 50-50.
Meanwhile.
I know to you guys, it's just a few seconds between clips, but we're talking hours here. It's 4 o'clock now. We started filming this at like noon, so 4 hours, and about 3/4 of that was dedicated to cable management alone to make this work. And it's still not beautiful. I've got big clutter of cables down there. We've got some cables just stringing across because I just don't have enough length. Not super satisfied with this, and you could tell that what's it called, Geo Universe? What's the name of the company? Geo Future. It's not a very memorable name, it's kind of a weird one. But yeah, you can tell they didn't really prioritize cable management really at all here. So we're kind of just haphazardly throwing stuff together. The last piece of this puzzle, believe it or not, we're almost done, is the graphics card. And if you want to get close here, Raymond, I'm a bit concerned about this area right here, because you can see PCIe slot above. It's going to be a beefy graphics card. It's going to be sitting like almost right on top of this. I guess it's a good thing that this power supply bracket is like super flimsy, so we might need to smush things down to make a thicker graphics card work. You know what? I just realized we made a big mistake, folks. This power supply is sticking out a little bit too far. You see it now, Raymond? See the in line with the 16-lane PCIe slot? We're gonna be hitting this, like definitely. Any car with a back plate, we're gonna hit this power supply. This is honestly a pretty slim ATX power supply at that, and we still don't have enough room. So we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board again. Just gonna brute force it here, although my hopes are not high. Ooh. Well, hold on. Let's see. This is driving me crazy. I have like no leverage. It actually fits. Our power supply is a little bent in that bracket. It works. Oh, this is just, I don't know. I don't have a particularly good feeling about this. And this isn't even a big graphics card. Again, going with the punches. I think we're gonna try flipping this power supply around. I originally wanted to have it intake from the rear, but we had an issue with this bracket and it not fitting with particular aspects of this unit. You can see here, I don't know if you can actually get that on camera, Raymond, but yeah, we have a small issue where this piece right here is hitting that. So we're gonna try to work around it. Maybe I can just like Dremel it off. I don't know.
A few moments later.
And I somehow managed to pull it off. I think we have enough space now. The card, I believe, was hitting one of these cable connectors earlier, and that's why it was sitting so crooked. So if we'd like get it wedged in like this and plop it in, that sits a lot better. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And of course, PCIe installation has to be just a pure pain because it just fits the theme of this entire build. Although, to their credit, at least they give us a bunch of Velcro straps. Now this little exterior frame is actually magnetic, so it kind of just snaps into place like so. That's actually pretty cool. And well, a bit of a disastrous assembly process. I'm okay with it. I guess the final product looks somewhat decent. You can see we've got this random like Type-C cable sticking out, and that's because we have actually a Type-C hub with additional USB Type-A's, your headphone and microphone jack, etc., that you can adapt to this because the case doesn't have built-in front I/O apart from a power button. So at least they give us that. Again, just a few other oddities you'll have to work around, but all in all, I am relieved to have this thing finally mostly finished. We just need to put some panels back on and cross our fingers when we power it on. Look, I'll be honest, first impressions, it doesn't look like a computer at all, at least in my opinion. I mean, if you really know what you're looking at, you can see through the mesh. I mean, yeah, you can see computer components in there, but this aesthetic is just kind of bizarre to me. I'm not sure who this would appeal to. I guess if you just want to disguise a PC build as something more like furniture or sculpture or something. I mean, the design itself is nice in that respect. It definitely has a kind of cheap, flimsy build quality though. It gives off that impression majorly. And you'll notice I'm able to like slide this super comfortably in a bad way. And that's because we don't have rubber feet or anything on the bottom. This entire case is just sitting on like plastic, bare plastic all the way around. Pretty silly. Yeah. For 180 bucks, this is like, this is a ripoff. I'm just gonna say it. It's not worth anywhere near that. I would maybe entertain this for like under 100 bucks if I just wanted something crazy, but no way that this is worth near $200. Absolutely not. And I wanted to power this thing on. Of course, that was the next step, and I realized that I actually have to get the power extension thing that's included in this case outside of the chassis itself in order to plug it in. And to do that, I've got to take a Phillips screw to this side panel here, and this just sticks out, just like this. It looks like a tail. It's kind of cute, right? Jokes aside, here we go, powering on, hoping this works. All right. It works. Well, maybe it looks more like a PC, I guess, powered on. You can actually see the outlines of the fans thanks to the fans that we chose. Yeah, I mean, it's still weird. Like, it just doesn't give off gaming PC vibes to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it does for you guys. If I'm totally off base here, let me know in the comment section below. I know this is all opinionated, but I've seen a thing or two in the PC case space. You guys have seen us building some weird cases in the past. This one's weird for a totally different reason. It hides almost everything and is not ergonomic and just, I don't know. It's just kind of ugh. And then for the price, I can't get over the price. Like I said, under 100 bucks, I'd be a lot less critical. I'm sure some of you are gonna be complaining that I'm being too critical here with a company that's, you know, just trying to get their foot in the door in US markets. But I have to be critical at this price point because for 180 bucks, there's a heck of a lot of case that you can get. This thing was kind of a nightmare to build in, and I'm a little disappointed with the outcome. The fans aren't even centered over this mesh. That's kind of bothering me a bit. You see that? I don't like that it needs to be shifted a little more that way. Anyway, I think that about covers it for this one. We're not gonna do temperature tests or anything. I don't recommend you guys buy it. I imagine temperatures are probably gonna be pretty fine with this since it's more or less an open air style case and we can literally reach my finger into some of these components. We don't have any tempered glass or acrylic or anything like that that's gonna obstruct airflow. We actually have mesh pretty much everywhere. So in that department, I give it a thumbs up, but everywhere else, it's just, I don't know. I'm genuinely at a loss for how to describe this because to me, I just feel like it doesn't belong. It's so out there and not premium feeling, even though it might look premium over the camera. Hopefully we've done a good enough job conveying just how cheap this thing actually is. Like, this is a problem. It should not be skating right now, and it just slides effortlessly. Yeah. Let me know in the comment section below again what you guys think about this one. Yeah, subscribe, I guess. I'm really selling the channel hard right now. It feels weird to like, hey guys, everyone subscribe. I really hate this case, but subscribe anyway, and give the video a thumbs up if you don't like the case. I think that's gonna work out in our favor, although it might massively backfire at the same time, so be gentle. And stay tuned for the next one. We're done with this video. My name's Greg, thanks for building with me.